Shortly after the end of World War II, the British company Rover introduced the famous Land Rover series of 4x4 off-road vehicles. The Land Rover series I was relatively successful as a civilian vehicle, and some government departments also purchased some. However, although the Land Rover series is positioned as off-road vehicles, their performance in some extremely harsh environments is still inadequate. For example, in harsh winter environments such as Ireland and Northern Europe, many off-road vehicles struggled. In the early 1960s, a Scottish designer named James Cuthbertson had his own idea. He modified the Land Rover off-road vehicle by replacing its rubber tires with small tracks. The tracks increased the ground contact area, reduced ground pressure, and effectively improved the vehicle's off-road capability. This tracked version of the Land Rover 2 was called the Cuthbertson Land Rover. Cuthbertson is not well known to the public, but he has a good reputation in the automotive industry. He was not good at designing and manufacturing cars, but he excelled in designing various car modification accessories. It is said that he designed the world's first circular rubber track, which was very innovative. The small tracks installed on the Cuthbertson Land Rover have a triangular side profile, with the drive wheel located at the top of the triangle and two pairs of small diameter load-bearing wheels below. The suspension system continued the original design of the Land Rover 2, and it did not rely on the speed difference between the tracks on both sides to steer, but instead turned the front tracks in the same way as a conventional car. The debut of the Cuthbertson Land Rover sparked interest from many, including the British and Australian military. The British military realized that the vehicle could perform better on ice and snow, and its ground pressure would not even trigger anti-tank mines, making it very appealing. However, the test results for the Cuthbertson Land Rover had both pros and cons. The benefit, of course, was its low ground pressure, and its tracked components could be used to modify existing light armored vehicles without the need to purchase new ones. The downside was that the track system raised the vehicle too high off the ground, which would inevitably lead to a high center of gravity and an increased risk of overturning. While the original purpose of the tracks was to reduce ground pressure for off-road use, the high center of gravity was not suitable for off-roading, and the two were contradictory and could not be reconciled. The vehicle also had other drawbacks such as high track costs and slow driving speeds, with a maximum highway speed of about 20 miles per hour, which is not in the same league as wheeled vehicles. The practicality of the Cuthbertson Land Rover was indeed questionable, and the market did not accept this tracked off-road vehicle. Its popularity quickly faded, with a total of only 15 of these special off-road vehicles reportedly being manufactured, and they can now be seen in museums.